What's up, guys? Hi guys. Hi. Hello. My name's Annika Osterland, and today I'm doing a sit-down video. I cannot remember the last time I sat down here and just filmed a video, let alone the last time I sat here and filmed a video that I wasn't doing my makeup in. I don't think I've ever filmed a sit-down video where I'm not like doing my makeup while I talk. But lucky for you guys, you don't have to see me without makeup today. It was not a pretty sight. I was like really moist. It's like really hot out. So I was like really moist. Anyway, today I'm gonna be doing a really fun, insightful video because I don't know if you guys know this, I am a high school graduate. I know. Yeah, just barely. Just barely. There were a few moments there where I thought I wasn't gonna graduate because I thought I wasn't gonna have enough athletic credit. There were a few moments there where I was nervous I wouldn't graduate because I had so many absences. Here are my absences for the past 4 years. It was a little nerve-wracking. But lo and behold, I did it. Just barely. I'm here. I'm here to help guide you guys through this whole thing and help you not do the shit that I did. I think I started to just finally figure it out. And then I graduated. I got a new phone. I've had the iPhone 7 actually since freshman year, and I will probably have this phone until I graduate college. Today, high school advice. I've done the liberty of separating it into different grade groups because I know that some people are gonna be watching this as incoming freshmen and they're not gonna need the same advice that incoming rising seniors will need. So if you look at the bar below, you will see timestamps separated by grade. But here's the catch, the first section applies to everybody. So you have to watch the first section if you care, or you could just skip to your, I don't give a fuck, literally do whatever you want. Follow me on Instagram, smash that like button, subscribe, please. I've actually had the same amount of subscribers since sophomore year. General section. Did I end up doing a little like title slide? That would have been cool. General how to study. I actually am planning on doing a whole how to study / how I study with ADHD video in the fall when I'm at college and I'm actually studying. But here's my #1 tip. Works like a charm, to be honest, for me, because I'm so conceited. I can get myself to study if I romanticize it. And what I mean by that is I sit in my bed or at my desk or at my kitchen table or wherever and I pretend like I'm in a coming of age teen movie about high school. Like a 2000s movie where they're like, ugh, have to study. And then I sit down, I open my computer, I put in my headphones, and then I like start typing and then it all just comes out. Or like, especially with handwritten homework, I really feel like I'm in a nice little 2000s movie moment. I like to do that. Of course, that doesn't actually do much. It helps with the mindset though. So for actually studying, Quizlet. My school was more of an essay school, but if you have, we did have tests and I would use Quizlet. It's fun to make the Quizlets. You can feel like you're being productive and you actually do learn a little bit when you're typing everything into Quizlet and then you can actually like practice it. And also, we all hate on the people that do their notes all nice and fancy, and I never did that, but taking notes is like really important. Like I would write notes and then never look at them again, but writing down what the teacher is telling you is like really helpful. I don't know why. Also, self-advocacy. If the teacher is showing a presentation, ask them if they can share the presentation with you guys, if they can put it on Google Classroom or on your school website or whatever. Take advantage of that because what are they gonna do? Be like, no. Most likely, if your teacher's not an asshole, they'll probably be like, oh, sure. It's worth asking. As for time management, which I'm not the best at all. Like prioritize by when it's due. If you have something due first block tomorrow, do that first, then do second block next, because who knows, maybe you'll have 15 minutes to finish up your second block assignment. You know, there are like those aesthetic websites where you can make planners, or you could do a physical planner, or you could put it on your phone. I mean, I'm not the best at studying, but somehow I made it through. Next, I would like to talk about parties / peer pressure / alcohol. Listen, I'm not gonna tell you not to do it because, listen, it's fun. Don't even get me wrong. Peer pressure, not fun. Okay, to preface, I go to a really small school, 300 kids. So I didn't go to parties very much. There would be like one party every year, or like 3, or maybe I just didn't get invited to them. I definitely know that was true when I was an underclassman, but I know you guys have heard this time and time again, but always make sure you have a ride to and from the party, okay? If you're gonna be drinking, get an Uber, or get your mom to pick you up if your mom's cool, or find a designated driver, because you'd be surprised, more people than you think are open to being designated drivers, especially if they have like some sort of thing where like they switch off, like you and your friends switch off, where it's like this one I won't drink, and then the next one you won't drink, and then you can have that kind of system with your friend. But there are more people than you think that are willing to be designated drivers. Also, since we're in high school, school, a lot of people have acne, a lot of people are on Accutane, and if you're on Accutane, you cannot drink, okay? It will fuck your liver. I've never been on Accutane, but I had a friend who was on Accutane. I was really surprised. She did a great job, didn't drink like the entire year. It will fuck your liver. Like, do not do that. Okay, and then the last trick with parties, if the cops come and it's not your party, so you're a guest at a party and the cops show up, either try and get out of there, or if you can't get out of there, just shut up and do what the cops tell you, because it's better to get in trouble with your parents and like have your parents come and get you than get in trouble with the law and go to jail or juvie for underage drinking, or get like a warning or something and have that go on your record, because that's not fun, especially if you're 18. That will be on your record for life. So if the cops come, shut the fuck up. Do what you're told. Get out of there. Even if your parents have to pick you up and they didn't know you were at a party. Next, friends. So I'm gonna talk a little bit more about making friends in the freshman section, but everybody needs to make new friends. I didn't have any friends senior year, really, at the beginning. I didn't have a lot of friends during sophomore year. I didn't have a lot of friends freshman year. Everybody can benefit from learning how to make more friends, and it's hard, especially when you go to a small school that everybody gathers in cliques and they only hang out in their cliques, and they make their cliques freshman year, and then after they make their cliques they don't let anybody else in. So if you lose your friends, you can't have friends at all because everybody already has their cliques. That sucks. My word of advice is you don't need tons of best friends, man. You just need one. I always felt bad because I would see like groups of girls on TikTok or whatever, and they all have their 4 best friends and they're like doing picnics or whatever. Dude, I had one best friend. I had other best friends, but they would come and go, they would graduate, or we would have a falling out or whatever. I had one best friend consistently, MC, throughout high school, and she was all that I needed. But what I will say is nice is having a bunch of acquaintances slash like friends, not necessarily close friends or best friends, but people that you can go to, or people that they would invite you to a party, or they think you're cool, or you have somebody to talk to in your classes. And then you can also get closer with those people through the classes. But the best way I would say to make friends is, this sounds really cliche and overdone, is by clubs and activities. I didn't join any clubs. I was the head of one club at my school, but that was it. I was just a head of a club for 2 years, but I didn't join any club. The first year I did the musical, and I made a lot of friends, weirdly, through the musical. It's surprising, but like after school activities, team sports, I guess. So a really great way to get to know people, because you're kind of forced to be with them for long periods of time, especially the musical, because you guys can all bond over how much you hate tech week or whatever. I don't do the musical anymore. I'm not a theater kid. And I know that MC made some of her best friends that she still hangs out with. Like, they graduated, she just flew to San Diego to see them, like, through the musical. So, join the musical, or soccer, if that's your thing. Was not my thing. Freshman. Hi. Hello. Hopefully, when you go into freshman year, you don't have a YouTube channel, because everybody will hate you. Everybody hated me, and I made the mistake of basically trying to get people to stop hating me by being really extra. Like, I was overcompensating. I don't actually blame the juniors and seniors for hating my guts, because I was really fucking annoying. First, kernel of advice. Stay away from upperclassmen. Stay the fuck away from upperclassmen unless one of them comes to you and is like, hey, let me take you under your wing, which some of them did. Miriam, love you. Don't know if you're watching this, but if you are, literally my savior. This girl, Miriam, was a junior when I was a freshman, and she DM'd me before I came into school and literally just like took care of me, and I don't know why. Unless an upperclassman approaches you and is like, hey, just stay away from them. Just stay away from them, unless they seem nice, like a nice person, but most of them don't. Step number 2, be really, really nice to your teachers, especially freshman year. Your first impression really matters. Just be really nice, because these are people that after you graduate, you can come back to them for, you know, guidance or mentorship. Teachers have connections. Teachers are wise, and teachers will also be the ones writing your comments, giving you grades, and writing your recommendations for college. Kernel number 3, grades do matter freshman year. I was under the impression that they didn't. Schools will take into account that, you know, freshman year is a transition year, whatever, but at the same time, your GPA is calculated as a whole. So grades do matter, but you don't need to join a billion clubs, especially not your freshman year. This is a general piece of advice when you're looking in the long term. You don't need to join a billion clubs and soccer and musical to get into a good college, because colleges like to see dedication to 1, 2, maybe 3 things. Kernel number 4, you do not need a boyfriend. And I will be saying this in every section of the video. And if you're a freshman, why not just watch the whole way through, because I can give you kernels for all 4 years. You don't need a boyfriend, especially not freshman year. I didn't have a boyfriend freshman year. My first real committed relationship was the end of junior year. We started dating January 28th of junior year. And I'm personally glad that I held out, because the times that I did really get involved with boys, it was so distracting and so frustrating. And I'm saying boys, but also girls too. But I will say girls are slightly less frustrating. So I didn't have that many issues with girls personally, but the boys, definitely for sure. Sophomore, junior, and senior year, I would look at these freshmen in relationships and just physically cringe. You've been at this school for 2 months. Like, how? You don't know the person that well. You've known them for 2 months. If that. Maybe you guys met a week ago in your fucking Spanish 1 class, and he's the one you want to date. Of course, that's not always the case. Sometimes it really is meant to be. And I know people that dated freshman year and are really good friends now. Like, they broke up, but they're still really good friends, and it's just an experience. It's just fun. You know, high school's for experimenting. But do not break both your legs to get a boy or a girlfriend. It's literally not worth it. It's hard, and I'm still accepting this, but this part of our lives, high school and even college, is literally not all there is, and it feels so all-encompassing when you're in it. It's like, I need to get a boyfriend, obviously, or else like, when am I gonna get a boyfriend? Or I don't want to be 22 and haven't had my first kiss yet. Who cares? You're gonna have it at some point. You're gonna get a boyfriend or a girlfriend at some point. You're gonna have your first kiss some point. You're gonna lose your virginity at some point. Why do you need to lose it right now, or kiss somebody right now, or have a boyfriend right now? You don't. Even if it feels that way, even if everybody else around you is doing it, just be like, cringe.
What I was trying to say, and I didn't even articulate it, is that like freshman year is supposed to be about making friends and making connections. You don't want to waste this critical year on like following a boy around or a girl around. That's what I was trying to say, and I said it in 13 seconds, but.
Sophomores. Hey girl. Hi. Sophomore year was a good year at first, then it turned to shit. It only turned to shit because I was a bitch. First piece of advice, you do not need to worry about this right now if you're a rising sophomore, meaning in the fall you'll be a sophomore. But this summer, the summer going into your junior year, you're gonna want to start studying for the SAT. I didn't have to submit an SAT or an ACT because of COVID, but in November when I sat down to take the ACT, I hadn't studied a second. I was drowning. I was like, holy fucking shit, I'm fucked. So my piece of advice is start studying a little bit early. Some people will start studying freshman year. I really don't think that's necessary. I think that having a year and a half before you take the SAT or the ACT is enough. I really don't think you need to push yourself that hard. Okay, so sophomore year is when I started to get really into the boy-girl drama. Like, I really wanted a significant other, like really bad. I didn't experience anybody pressuring me into anything sophomore year. I only had 2 little flings, and neither one of them pressured me. It was actually really fine. Freshman year though, there was somebody who absolutely tried to pressure me into shit. And I want to tell you right here, right now, this is why I want the freshmen to keep watching, because it could go either way, but particularly for sophomores, because I feel like then we start getting a little bit more frisky. You know, we've gotten over the hump of freshman year where we're trying to get it all together school-wise. Now we're feeling a little spicy, you know, we're ready to add something else into the mix. Don't go for boys or girls, but mostly boys, because let's be real here, this usually happens with them. Do not go for boys who are pressuring you into sex. Easy peasy, lemon fucking squeezy. This goes for juniors and seniors too. I don't know if you're watching the whole video, but listen here. If a boy pressures you into sex or blowjobs or anything, do you really want to be dating them? Because that one thing says a lot about their character as a whole. Somebody who isn't willing to wait for you to be ready is not somebody who is worth anything. Like, actually not worth anything. I did nothing with this boy freshman year who was trying to pressure me and doing really creepy shit. I do not regret for a second not doing it. I have no regrets. But this isn't even about like losing your virginity. This is about losing your integrity. You know, it's completely separate from this like societal construct of virginity, which isn't even a real thing. This goes back to, I was saying in the freshman portion of the video, when you're in high school, and even right now, I'm going into college, this part of my life and this part of our lives feels so all-encompassing. It feels like it's all that there is, you know? That if I don't have sex now, I'm never gonna have sex. That's not true. And you don't want to be behind everyone else or whatever. In the grand scheme of things, and this takes a lot of like mental capacity to truly fully understand and absorb, but in the grand scheme of things, does it matter? I know a lot of people want to lose their virginity before they go to college, but does it really matter? No. Plenty of people lose their virginity in college. Plenty of people have their first kiss in college. There is no rush. There's literally no rush. You have time to do everything you want to do, even if you don't do it in high school, even if you don't do it in college. You have time. But really, I don't have very much advice for sophomores because sophomore year is a great year. Like, just make sure you're getting really good grades. Now is the time to start joining clubs, maybe even creating clubs if your school allows you to do that. But overall, you don't have very many responsibilities because you've gotten into the vibe of high school and you don't have to worry about college yet. So just simply chill, okay? Have fun, make friends, join clubs, do the musical so you can make more friends. It's really just a year to kind of figure yourself out. Like, sophomore year was kind of fun. Just don't lose all your friends like I did. That was a mistake. All right, juniors. Are you okay? Are you nervous? Don't be! Junior year was actually, well, I didn't take the SAT or the ACT because of COVID. I also didn't study. I was like, I'll study later. I'll study like for a month before I have to take it. But then when I started studying, COVID hit and I was like, awesome, I don't have to take the SAT. That was probably the reason I had a great junior year, except for the fact that there was a global pandemic and both my grandparents died. Junior year was a great year. Met my first boyfriend and I was glad that I held out because so good. Like, I'm very happy that I have this person and that this person is my first love. You know, I hear so many people talk about having toxic first relationships and I was really worried that was gonna be me. I thought it was just a rite of passage, like you have to fuck up before you get it right. I just got lucky. What I did though was everybody at my school will start dating after a week of talking and I really didn't want to be like that because I thought it was kind of cringe. So basically I forced Mac. He would keep being like, so what are we? And then I'd be like, I don't know. And then after about a month and a half of us talking, I was like, all right, now we can call it official. So I really made sure. You're trying to decide if he's the one, just take your time. No rush to make things official and put a label on it. You have to take the SAT, start studying for it the summer going in. So if you're gonna be a junior this year, start studying now, but you don't have to worry about essays or anything until next summer. And then look up the prompts on the Common App. If your school doesn't give you a college counselor, you should probably like recruit one because it's actually really complicated and I didn't understand it, but you can also like Google it. There are resources for people who can't afford to get an outsourced college counselor and for people that don't get one in school. Academically, junior year is not very much different from sophomore year. You don't have to try any harder than you should have been trying sophomore year, you know? I mean, if you have gotten shitty grades freshman and sophomore year, maybe, yeah, try and step it up a little bit. Junior year is fun. Like, junior year, people start being able to drive. It's a great year. I loved junior year. I loved going off campus to get lunch with my friends. You know, I went to a few parties my junior year when I hadn't really gone to a lot of parties freshman and sophomore year. It was a great year. It was really fun. Balancing social life and schoolwork can be hard. It's important that you don't give up social life for schoolwork. Like, no matter what people tell you, both of them are important because you'll go crazy and that's not good, best friend. When balancing parties and school, there's usually a good amount of time. So you have a party on a Friday night, right? Do your homework either before the party, or you can do a little bit of your homework before the party. Then you still have Saturday afternoon. I'm leaving Saturday morning for a little hangover, but if you're incredibly hungover, maybe Saturday will be out of the question. If so, you still have Sunday. I will be doing a study video this fall. I forget how I study. I would need to actually do it in order to explain it, so just stay tuned for that video. And now for seniors. Congratulations! You're almost there, but not quite. First thing I would say is if you qualify for a fee waiver for application, so it actually costs money. I don't know if you know this, it actually costs money to send in college applications. That's one of the reasons why applying to 20 schools is not practical for a lot of people, but you can qualify for a fee waiver if your family makes below a certain amount of money every year. So you should look into that because if you qualify, that is definitely something you should do. Look up the Common App essay questions this summer, right now. I don't know if they come out until August, I don't know, but get a head start. Another thing I would say is apply early action to as many schools as you can. You can only apply early decision to one school and it's binding. So if you get into the school you applied early decision to, then you have to go there. You have to go there. But EA, you can apply to as many as you want. Not all schools do it, but I applied to every school that did early action. I applied early action to that school. I also suggest that. That's something my college counselor told me to do and it worked out for me. Senior year, grades do matter. And I think most of you know that, but for some reason I was under the impression that senior year grades didn't really matter, or after you got into your dream school or the school you're going to, you could give up, or after you committed, you could give up, but that is not true because colleges get sent your mid-year and your final transcripts. If they're not happy with your grades, they can rescind their acceptance. Even if you already put down the deposit, even if you're already committed, they can be like, nope, and snatch it right back. You can do the bare minimum. You know, if you've been getting all A's, you can get a B+. Okay, they're not gonna rescind it for something like that. Look it up, because I think schools are open about what grade point average you have to stay in. I know that for NYU, I had to keep a 3.7 GPA at the least in order for my acceptance to not be rescinded. But as for staying motivated, I actually didn't have that much trouble with this because I feel like I've had senioritis for 4 years. It's like the end of the year is hard every year because you're just dragging on. But what's good about senior year is that there's actually a finish line and there's actually something to be working towards, as opposed to sophomore year when you're just working towards junior year. Senior year, you're working towards a final goal, which is graduating, and it feels good. My dad dying threw a wrench in that a little bit. So I understand what it's like to want to completely give up, but you have to power through, best friend. It was really important to me, so I kept going, and it took every last fiber of my being. The day after graduation, I crashed. I fucking crashed. I'm pretty sure I crashed when I got home from graduation, and I have been sleeping until 3 p.m. ever since. It's exhausting, but it's the home stretch, and you need to keep telling yourself, it's the home stretch, it's the home stretch, it's the last year, it's the last few months, it's the last few weeks, and enjoy your time that you have left, because it is sad. I'm actually not that sad because I didn't have very many friends, so the people that I really care about, I know that I'll get to see them again because I care enough to visit them. I'm sad about leaving my teachers because I do really like my teachers, so enjoy your time with them, bro. Enjoy it. Go on the senior committee that sets up all the events and stuff. Be a part of it. Enjoy your last few months with your grade if you like your grade. Senior year can be really fun, especially the end, because we're all in it together. You know, we were all suicidal together, and that's what made it so fun. That's what made it a little bonding experience. So that's all my advice, but another general tip is try and find the joy in these little moments that you have, because despite what everybody says, high school will not be the best years of your life. High school might very well be the worst 4 years of your life, but there are little moments, little kernels, if you will, of joy that you experience along the way that somehow make everything worth it, because you think, this is a moment I will tell my kids about. And that just, I have goosebumps just thinking about it. That's what makes it all worth it. And it's hard, but it's something that almost everybody goes through. It's just another chapter in your book. That's what I always say. Everything bad that has ever happened to me is just another chapter in the memoir that I will inevitably write. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you want more like a more in-depth college advice video, let me know. I tried to talk about it a little bit for my juniors and seniors, but I hope this helped you. Follow me on Instagram. Okay, bye. I love you!